Hello world, today is Tuesday, June 30th, it's 12:04 p.m. and this is another vlog, a 10 minutes raw and edited talk about what is top of mind. This is a public journal, let's go. This is a public journal. Oh no. You know, I was just so I'm putting this on and recording this, that I left this kind of knot. It's a half knot in the cable, which is not good. It's interesting how you can just go down any rabbit hole and just be analyzing anything and talking about anything. That's partly what I do here. Partly I just like talk about anything, but also that's a dance and it's an exploration of like your present moment and your consciousness. Like, where are you at right now mentally? Like, where is your presence? Where is your attention? What are you paying attention to? Who are you? Like, that's just exploring. That is fascinating. It's amazing. It's like you're just looking at a mirror. Like, you're like, fuck, this is happening. What am I doing? I'm part of this larger world. I have, constraints. I have to go figure out how to make money. I have to eat. I have to take care of myself. I have to satisfy all these, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's our operating system. That's like always like putting things in order and contextualizing and solving problems and managing our attention. If I touch a stove and the first thing you're going to be doing is like, I have to move my hand from the stove. That's the function of a nervous system, is to keep you responding to the fucking environment so you don't fall off a cliff or get eaten by a lion, right? That's beauty. Like, if you would just understand logic, understand programming, understand computer science, that we are just another agent in an environment, a biofeedback machine. We are a feedback machine, an agent, and we can really create those agents with like AI influencers. And like, what is clear, what allows you to be a superhuman or a tech titan is to having clarity about fucking fundamentals. And understanding how the world works, and understanding how the system works, and then having the clarity of thought to bring that out to the fucking conclusion, have the tenacity, have the faith, the belief that this is going to work, because this is mathematically proven according to my convictions. And for me, that's like understanding how technology works, understanding, like, I had this morning, okay, I'll pause there, but I'll come back to this bit of biography, because the vlog is really about being in the moment and capturing this raw reality, which is like so fascinating. I'm like, I'm 37. It's fucking Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. 12:08 p.m. Like, there's never going to be another 12:08 p.m. on a Tuesday in 2026. There's going to be some similar ones, but never like this. And it's just, fuck, like, that's, celebrate that, appreciate that. Like, so I want to linger there and like be like appreciating there. Like, I could be focusing on anything, like this little knot in the thing, and like, why did I do that? And I turned the camera on with this knot, and then I was like, I have to fix it on the camera. And like, I'm taking your time and you're here with me on this ride, and we're just driving down the fucking street, and like, this is a road trip. Like, whoa. We're always in the moment, and we're always in the now, and we're always moving from the past to the future, and always in the present. So that's playful. That's a medium. That's an art form. That's a medium, and we just play with it and see what when we communicate, and we see what we can discover, create, enjoy, and uncover. So biography, like today I woke up like 9. I went to the breakfast. I was hoping Tuesday is like this roast comedy kind of breakfast table thing, but not today. I had a breakfast by myself. Then I went to the cafe and I was like, had a coffee with this other friend, Lauren, who is like into the same things I am, and we're always like, oh, we have to catch up and get coffee and talk about like, you know, transhumanism and singularity and shit like that. And we talked about like extropianism. And no, I shared about my story about how my earliest memories of like having insights into the singularity. And I told him this amazing story about how like 1996 or 7, I was like 8 years old, and I was like watching TV in Eastern Europe, Poland, and there's like the Computer Chronicles, a TV program on the personal computer revolution that happened like bi-weekly or monthly, and like it was in the 80s and 90s, and like there's one episode about the neural networks, about a computer program that could recognize handwritten digits, and that this was based on the way that the human brain works, is the neural network algorithm. And I was like, fuck, this is amazing. The computer just can run the same algorithm that our brain does, and what this means is that we already have figured out the software. We just need to figure out the computation, and the computation just is increasing according to Moore's law, and that within a couple decades we will have infinite kind of intelligence, right? That was my insight, and I was like, and I was like glad to like, you know, share about that, and like just talk about like how I could sense that, you know, like in mid-90s Poland, Eastern Europe, like people that were just like into gaming and PCs and programming were just like superhuman. And I was like, it's kind of like an open secret that programming gives you superpowers. And then we talked about like extropians, and like our like stories about that. And then randomly he had to go and say bye to a friend, because a lot of people are leaving for June. And then I went to watch the World Cup, Netherlands versus Morocco, and it was like the final 6 minutes of the game. And so my point is, one of the things during that conversation was talking about like cybernetics and Norbert Wiener, and how, whereas we talking to AI, he was telling how his dad got into Claude Code and is writing like mathematical papers, even though he's just curious about math. And I'm like, yeah, it's really all you need is just curiosity, the desire to engage with an LLM, and then the feedback loop of refining your conversation. That's how we just have this amazing ability of having a personal Einstein next to us, which was never possible before, but now literally that's making the impossible possible, where every one of us has a personal tutor at the level of a genius. And what that means for the world, we just have intelligence on tap. And of course, that's going to make the world transformed into something we cannot imagine. We have no like reference points of what happens when, you know, previously, you know, it took someone 20 to 30 years to become that kind of expert, and that was very scarce to get access to a person that had that kind of knowledge, and now everybody has it on their phone. So yeah, where was I going? That was really interesting. I really wanted to document that and record that in this vlog. And then what else? I walked back to the co-working space, and I was talking on my phone with my Luminolog journaling app. Yesterday I did a demo at the Network School Showcase about CronWatch. This is an app for time tracking in voice first, and that was beautiful. It was like a 2-minute pitch, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it was like, you know, really good. And I was like really surprised about the positive like response, and I was like, yeah, you are really limited just about your ability to be delusion. Like, it's delusion, but it's also not. It's just like your ability to believe in your app, and all you really have to do is just that's the magic, is like you really have to just believe in your app and promote it, talk about it. And so CronWatch, that's what I'm doing. And the second thing is Luminolog. That's what I'm doing, just talking about this AI journaling app. And the third thing I'm doing is the Augme.world AI influencers platform, like for Protocol Camp. So I have a lot to do, and I feel like I've got to lock in to make that happen. But also, it's just what I've cracked which I didn't understand before. It's the harder you press on something, the more further you get away. And also, you just have to kind of manifest things. And it's really about visualization, belief, and knowing that you just gotta like be committed to it long term and be consistent. Like consistency, it's really the magic thing. So we're 10 minutes. I'm gonna end it here. I send you good thoughts, vibes, frequencies, and vibrations, because every thought matters. May you be free from suffering. Yeah, and by the way, parentheses, I always end it with that because it's like you get stronger what you repeat. And like if I repeat this thing of like sending you love to whoever is at the other end, I strengthen that muscle within me to send good thoughts and good vibrations. And that's, I don't need to say anything. I don't need to express anything with my face. But with my thoughts, I can send somebody a good thoughts, a good vibe, a peace, and that's powerful skill. To be capable and strong in that, and ready to do that. So yeah, thank you, and may you be free from suffering.